allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you. All our motions in order for tonight's meeting. The approval of the agenda.
Move we approve the agenda.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, meeting minutes. I have a couple corrections on the January meeting, minor. And page one, the big paragraph on the bottom, about the middle where it says $322,000 for the 2021 budget and combining, everything else, or combining. You see it? Combining.
It's about the 720.
See the 322, the second one? Combining your remaining balance. Okay. And on page 3, under unfinished business, Supervisor Church is talking about the high school art class. We should identify, we're talking about the logo.
Each way, yeah. They did that the logo to the each way.
And then the next paragraph after that, Philly Mills will research current annexation laws and discussion will continue.
In February.
Yeah, definitely. That's all I have. Is there anything else?
No.
Anything?
I have that.
Motion.
Move that we approve the Monday, January 11th board meeting.
As amended. I'll second.
All right, motion and second to approve the January board meeting minutes as corrected. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. And we have the January 6th plan commission meeting.
Those meeting minutes were passed unanimously at the planning commission meeting last Wednesday, so I'll make a motion that we approve the East Point Planning Commission meeting minutes for January 6th, 2021 as presented.
All right, motion second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. All right, I believe that was all for minutes, right?
That's it.
All right, treasurer's report.
Treasury report for January 2021. Total receipts were $21,641.23. Transfers were $219,000. Interest earned was $4.16. Balance as of December 31st was $4,170.05. Total funds for January were $244,815.44. Checks paid in January were $233,812.59, leaving a balance of $11,002.85.
Questions?
Who bought the,
I don't know who bought it. We sold a couple passes before Christmas presents,
oh,
right at
okay.
the end of the year, but yeah, this was the
We
only
should
one.
advertise doing that, cause that would be a really good idea for people.
The fishermen know.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a great idea. I move that we, accept the town of East Troy treasurer's report for the month of January as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. All right, public comments? John?
Down on number 11B, you have office staffing. Could you elaborate what that is entailing?
I'll do that when I get to it.
Are we allowed to have public comment at that point?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, fair enough, thank you.
Yeah. Public comments, anyone? Anything? All right. Okay, report of committees, chairperson report. Couple things. One, I'm still meeting twice a month with the Troy Alliance, with the Village of East Troy, the Town of Troy. Also meeting monthly with the heritage and library boards in regards to exploring the possibility of library at that location. And I'm also doing, town road records, and I put on your desk, everybody up here anyway. We have obviously a lot of records in this building, but they go all the way from 1844 to present, and some of these questions come up, like we had a question previously about Shorewood Drive, public or private. We had an issue on, Weber Lane, found a resolution there, the dedication. And we're getting, I do get calls from surveyors about our roads, and we have our official mileage map, okay, and we have our official map, and then we have the county GIS system, and like the latest one, I'll give you an example on, South Shore Drive, that's the one about the middle of that spreadsheet. There's all sorts of ways to dedicate a road. This was a court case. This is Bergenthal versus the town of East Troy, and there was a final judgment back in 1969 establishing South Shore Road, from Army Lake Road all the way out to, the island, basically. That's where the road ends. And it's on a map, we got our mileage and all that, that's all good. But what I'm gonna be doing here the next, couple months is going through the two old Bibles, the town road records, plus the resolution books. Try to get it established so that the surveyors are working in town here can just give this to them. Because questions are coming up, and, I wanna make sure they're consistent way to answer the question. So I don't need the action, I need to start working on this, and I'll continue. That's my starting, so I'll give you a.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks for doing all that research, that's a lot of work.
it's a lot of, it's actually, I've done a lot of research over the years, and kinda interesting. I was telling some of the people looking at the town, the monthly meeting minutes and the issues we've been dealing with the last 10 years, guess what? Most of them are the same issues that go all the way back into the 50s and 60s and 70s, same issues. Speed limits, the lights.
Can we pass the slacker ordinance again now?
The slacker ordinance
From
actually was never,
1918?
it was never rescinded.
Right, I don't think that was, that's still in the books.
There is a
Alright,
there is a slacker
love
ordinance.
it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So, anyway, I'll keep working on this. All right, Department of Public Works. I do wanna read one thing here from, Greg. Greg's not here. He said that there's a quick update. The month of January brought 5 major snowfalls, 4 minor events. We used around 400 tons of salt and 3,000 gallons of brine. There was a lot of blowing and drifting. We had our share of breakdowns, but all trucks are repaired. We are all waiting to see if the highway departments are going to be determined essential, so we can get on the vaccines. Any help on the town board level will be a big help. So, with that blowing and drifting really keep the guys up pretty good.
Can I have that? I just wanna write down the number.
Okay,
3,000.
bathroom remodel, actually there's not too much action on this other than we've kind of make sure we're all on the same page here. We already signed the contract for the architect to do the design on this, and we're gonna bid it. But I told him to move the bid opening back to, May 12th. May 12th should be a May board meeting, correct? And, let's see, April, May 10th, okay. We moved the bid opening of that because I feel that the new board should make the decision on this. And I also told them to, have the contractors hold their price for 45 days rather than standard 30 days to give more time in case there's something, we don't know yet what's gonna happen. The annual meeting could change things, but this way, the bids will be open at a town board meeting. And, it'll be after the election, so there'll be 5 people deciding that, not 3. So nothing more on that. The well contract, Did you take it off the agenda, you still have it on? The well
We have
contract?
the well contract, but you don't have anything for the plumbing yet. That's
No.
why it's still on.
Oh, okay, so, there's no action on the well itself, as the actual well contract has been signed. The next item is the trenching, that we have a number from O'Leary and from, I'm forgetting the other one again.
Paul Semp.
Also, yeah, that's for that one. The other one was, the other, plumber was Martin's. I don't have numbers from either one of those yet, that's for the work to rehook the stuff up and whatever, so that'll probably be, next month. But that's a lead into our next one here, and that's Paul Kemp, the trenching, the direct bore from the well, underneath the, DPW garage, to hook up into the DPW, and then they'll feed this building. As we all know, the well we have doesn't meet code, the casing's failed, and if we wanna have drinking water in this building or at the park, we will, so. Paul Semp, what we give in the past, what is that? The other people I talked to, who wanna mess with, a couple 100 feet, this guy will, so, you should have that in your packet, Paul Semp. Yeah, Mike, not you. And all this is weather dependent, they could probably drill this stuff off, no problem, but. Where is it? See my stacks here. That was in our packet, right? Okay.
All three of you have a copy of it?
Yeah, I got too many piles in here.
You looking for this?
Yeah. I got it in here somewhere. Okay, so, the bid is for direct bore, you'll pull the pipes through, cap them off, and connection will occur, when available, but it's pretty simple. Directional bore, approximately 200 feet for proposed new water well back to shop building, set furnished 1.5 inch poly, water pipe 200 PSI and furnished 1.25 conduit for power, so between the two. This includes digging as needed, so I asked that the board would, authorize me to sign this one and get this on this guy's, on his schedule.
Question, Joe, if approved, this would coincide with when we have a plumber to do the work on the coincide, or you can just stretch the bill.
Yeah, in effect, it's really three separate operations, all of them are, independent to do it, but eventually connected, so, both plumbers have met, with Seth here, as well as with Sam's, so everybody knows what's going on here. So, but yeah, none of it has to do with
I think we approved the, bid of, $4,000 for, we got the name.
Paul Semp and Sons trenching.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the trenching contract.
Second.
We have a motion and second, any further discussion, having none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. I will, send these pictures out tomorrow, if they need a mail, I'll bring it here, if they will do it electronically, like the well, I'll just send it out, so. Okay, police report, and we have, Lieutenant here, is gonna give us our report. Chief is at a Chiefs conference, and first of all, I believe you just passed your 1 year, anniversary as Lieutenant.
I did.
Congratulations, glad you're still here.
Thank you, sir.
All right, report please.
Alrighty. On January 19th, 2021, our department was notified that we met the eligibility requirement set forth by the Department of Justice for a discretionary federal grant, and attached is that letter. The long and short is that the DOJ approved of our use of force policy that meets the national and state standards, especially when it comes to the prohibited use of chokeholds, which is and has been in our policy. So a copy of our use of force policy is attached to the monthly police report. On there, nothing major, we stay busy with accidents, vehicles in the ditch with the icy conditions and, winter weather. We had 14 vehicles in the ditch last month. Several OWI arrests and impaired driving arrests as well. All the summary report, had summaries attached. Anybody has any questions, let me know. We're all up to full staffing, healthy and happy. So hopefully things stay that way after our COVID exposure, so.
Very good. There are two other things listed here, but I believe you won't have too much to say about the first one. That's more probably in conjunction with Jim. I guess there was a couple of meetings at Charlotte Yorgie's place with the junk investigation, junk ordinance. And I just heard you had a discussion with.
Yeah, I wasn't involved in any prior investigations at the site that may have happened. There was one that was scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay.
It's been rescheduled due to weather to, the 16th. And that too is weather dependent. But Darren at the county, had emailed myself and, Rick Stacy, so I'm not sure if he's planning on being there.
Alright. Well, this is your stuff, John. Do you have any questions on this? That's just where we're at.
No, it's just about all straightened out. We just gotta get a few things underneath the overheads. But everything's frozen in, can't get nothing started.
Well, this has been going on for a year or two. I believe there's 2 citations on
Those are scheduled for April.
April. Okay. East Troy Area Emergency Services District report, Barb.
The rescue department set a record of 755 calls for 2020, and in 2020, the department responded to 35 Alpine Valley calls. Chief Baruta has spoken with the general manager at Alpine to ask them to obtain a private ambulance service. They are not saying they won't go to Alpine Valley, but there's a lot of little minor stuff that, is eating up a lot of time for the department, and they're afraid of being out of service for a call that might coincide with something in the county, and they don't want to, they would prefer to avoid that, so he's trying to negotiate with Alpine Valley to find another service provider.
It seems like, to go by my house, it seems like it's almost every day.
Yeah, it is frequent.
Okay, anything else on that?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Park committee report, anything?
The Jim Burns Memorial Park received a compliment to the DPW crew for plowing out the path. That makes it easier for walkers and dogs to enjoy our local park. So I thought that was really good. Kudos to Greg and his crew, and I have nothing else to report from the park.
Okay, very good. Boots Lake Memorial Park report, Kim?
The only thing that we have going on is this month's meeting is the lottery for both, it's on the 17th, February 17th, and it's the lottery for both boat slips and the upper and lower pavilions.
Okay, very good. Lake Beulah Management District report, Greg, anything?
I have nothing new to report. The district is meeting tomorrow night via Zoom.
All right, thank you.
I don't know if John Murphy called you,
No,
but he's not here tonight, and he had nothing for either the recycling or library.
nothing for either one, okay. All right, planning commission report, all right.
The planning commission report received an amended conditional use for PET 3600007, Jack Schaefer owner, Jeff Johnson applicant. Engineer Brett Buer from Baxter and Woodman was approached by the DNR to include a wildlife scrape between the pond that's being built and the berm. a wildlife scrape is a series of elevated ponds. They're not quite ponds, they're less than 4 feet deep, so they are in essence like puddles more than ponds. And the object is for the water to fill this pond and then drain down to the lower ponds. It is to be a source of drinking water for the wildlife in the area. But in addition to that, the DNR really encourages these because they attract shoreland birds, turtles, and frogs, as well as native plants for the creatures to feed on. It increases the wildlife in that area so that they really want those scrapes to be present. It creates a wildlife wetland. Since the water is not stagnant, it also should not be a mosquito breeding ground. Neighbor John Fitzgerald spoke in favor of the wildlife scrape, but asked that the engineer and applicant pay close attention to improving the auto visibility at the vision triangle at the intersection of Honey Creek and Bell School Road. Fitzgerald thought the height of the berm, as it was currently constructed, thank you, where the construction currently is, because they're pulling dirt out of the bed of the lake, was too high, and that prevented cars approaching the intersection of Honey Creek, blocking the view of those on Bell School. And he was afraid of an increased risk of accidents at that intersection. Both Jeff Johnson and Joe Diedick, who's the land caretaker, stated that this issue was of concern to them as well, and that they promised it would be addressed. I also stated that Greg Twelmeyer, who I spoke with, who is the DPW superintendent, had no problem with the amended conditional use or anything that Jack Schaefer did, as long as the culvert replacement cost was still shared between the town and the applicant. This amended conditional use was approved by the planning commission by a vote of 6-0. I move that the town board also approve this proposal as presented.
All right, we have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. My comment on that is the area he's doing these wetland scrapes is in an area that was mapped out as wetland. So,
No, I believe it was supposed to be
Yes.
part of the berm, and the scrape would be between the berm
and fine.
height and the pond.
All right, on the motion, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
And I have one more comment.
Yeah.
In a conversation with Faye Emerson from Walworth County the day after this was approved, the county has also seen the need to quantify what is and what isn't farmable land, so that farmland can be better preserved. So they are working on that, and they will get back to educating the planning commission on so. This was a concern of Mr. Zelinski.
Yeah, we actually, when we approved the original plan, we gave him also a comment asking, through our smart growth plan, we're in the area where we have the exclusive ag area, which is the southeast half of the town, and this project is right here, if there was any effect on the county or state programs. And I heard nothing on that, so maybe I brought that to their attention, because